I hope everyone had a great weekend. My weekend is basically Sunday to Thursday because I usually work on Friday and Saturday. So I get a 5-day weekend. I work 2 days a week. That's my life. What I do on my weekends? Well, make YouTube videos and watch stuff, and that's it. Yeah, that's my life. Anyways, moving forward, I would appreciate a thumbs up for this video. You don't have to give it to me if you don't want to. Anyways, in this video, we're going to be talking about liberty, health, science. I hope I said that right. I didn't say liberal. I said liberty, health, science. So there's some big news on liberty, health, science. I really still truly believe that this is an undervalued company, but that's just my opinion. And at the end of the day, I really think that unless big money decides to come in and pump the stock up like they did with Kira and True Eve and Green Thumb Industries and Cresco Labs, this stock could just trade at 50 cents. And maybe one day when Florida becomes federally legal, Liberty Health Science will finally get what it deserves, a higher uptick in stock price. So what is the news on Liberty Health Science? So Liberty Health Science is expanding another additional 300 square feet by the end of the calendar year of 2021. When is the end of calendar year 2021? I don't know. I don't know when the end of their year of calendar. I guess the end of Q4 of 2021. So probably sometime in the spring or the summer of 2021 is when they will be completed 300,000 additional square feet of growing space, giving them 490,000 square feet. This is perfect because this gives them more capacity for when Florida becomes federally legal and they can increase the production in a big way. So I'm also hoping that this new facility they're building will be structured similar to Afria, because they were partners with Afria, and so Afria shared information with them for a short period of time before Afria went off and did their own thing because they were not allowed to invest into this company. But Afria did invest into this company. I think this company has massive potential for massive return on investment, and I think it's extremely undervalued in my opinion. And why? Because you gotta think about the square feet they have. The acreage they have. They have 387 acres. That means that they could build a lot of facilities on that land that they own. They can cut down the trees, and then they can build more greenhouses. They can build more facilities. They can be a giant company in one location. So that's the reason why I believe they're so undervalued. And if the U.S. ever becomes legal and they are allowed to ship product across the United States from Florida, they could potentially be a big giant company because their facility is located in one area, so they can reduce a lot of costs. Because if your strategy is to have multiple facilities all over the U.S. continent, the cost would be a lot more expensive. Like Kira, they have multiple different facilities. Cresco's have multiple different facilities, but Liberty Health Science has one big giant facility, potentially, if they could build it out, in one location. So they could potentially ship a lot, if they are allowed in the future when the entire United States become legal, they can potentially ship their product all over the United States. So that's why I believe that it's extremely undervalued. And then on top of that, they are planning for another 10 location to come online before year end. Maybe they're talking about fiscal 2021, because let's be honest, 10 more location by the end of 2020, that's in another like 2.5 months. 2.5 months, October, November, 3.5 months. So they expect to open 10 more locations in 3.5 months. Maybe, hopefully, I don't know. That could be a possibility, but it's optimistic. I highly doubt that will happen, but who cares? It doesn't matter at the end of the day. The only thing that really matters for Liberty Health Science is they are preparing. They are preparing for the eventual legalization of Florida, because that will be a big deal for this company. It's a big deal for like a lot of multi-state operators, in my opinion. So Liberty Health Science, I think Liberty Health Science is a stock market proof crash. Why? Because the worst case scenario is this thing is going to drop down to 38 cents. 40 cents, 38 cents. So you're not going to lose half your investment. I mean, it could drop lower, but the lower this thing goes, the way better of an investment it becomes. I think right now, I think the stock's going to trade sideways. And then when the stock market crash happens, I think this thing's going to dip back down to maybe 38 cents. It could break it. It can go down to 30 cents. But the lower the stock price goes, the more undervalued the company becomes, and the more of an attractive investment it becomes, because the company is not going to go bankrupt. They are cash flow positive of at least $5 million of profitability, and they will, in my opinion, generate at least $10 million of profits in next quarter. Next earnings report, I think they will generate about $10 million of profit, and quarters going down the road will be at least $10 million of profit going down the road. So they will be consistently profitable for at least $10 million throughout the entire, like the rest of their life, until legalization happens, or until they expand more stores and they get more customers. But I really think Liberty is very, very undervalued. It has a PE ratio of 6.05. Think about that, 6.05. How many MJ companies out there that has a PE ratio of 6.05? I don't know, like at the end of the day, I don't know what the market's gonna do. I think it's probably gonna trade between 50 cents to 53 cents. But one day, sometime in the future, when legalization happens in Florida, I think this thing could pop to $2 in a very short amount of time. My opinion only. We'll see if that happens. I think this thing could be easily a 10 bag. I think that there's a possibility Liberty, depending on the price you buy it at, could be a 10 bagger in the future. But again, that's only my opinion. And then Village Farms also had some pretty big news too. So Village Farms to buy Emerald Pier Sun Farm stake for $79 million, $80 million. This company is already a profitable company according to them. Their gross margin of 44%. They generate about $30.9 million. They have an EBITDA of 9.2. Net income of 9.6. So very profitable company, and yeah. So I think this is pretty good news. My opinion only, but I think this is really good news. And then right after that, which is funny because they paid cash for this. They paid them literally $60 million of cash payment, and $20 million of permissible note due 6 months from the closing date of Pier Sun Farm transaction. So they are basically paying all cash for this deal, not stock. So no dilution. That's good. But then they do the opposite, and they raise $50 million in cash. So they use their cash to buy Sun Farms, and then they use their stock to raise cash. So they could have just used stock to acquire Sun Farm, but hey, whatever, that's just the reality of it. But yeah, yeah, Village Farms. You can't really also go wrong with Village Farms as a long-term investment. Short term, I think Village Farms will be determined on Canopy and Aurora and Afria. If all those stocks continue to decline in price, it will put pressure on Village Farms. Village Farms is a profitable company, so you can't really go wrong with them. But the stock price can go lower. The stock price could go down to $2.40, $2.90. Don't be a bull and don't be blindsided by the possibility of the stock price declining, because it could. If Aurora and Canopy and Afria and all the Canadian MJ companies decline, Village Farms will decline too. At least that is my opinion, not financial advice. If you want to be a bull on it, fine. But I honestly telling you this, that big money ultimately moves the stock market. If big money does not want to pump the stock, it won't go up. Big money comes in, they pump the stock, which would bring in day traders and retail investors, and that will pump the stock up higher. But until big money decides to pump the stock, it's not going anywhere. I could be wrong, not financial advice, just my opinion. Anyways, thanks for watching, guys. I hope you enjoyed this. Subscribe for future updates and have a great day. Bye.